Hi Jaya, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are
How are
you?
you? I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, ma'am.
Wonderful. So, how was the weekend for you?
Mm, it's going great. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
today is also a holiday for me because I took a
Oh.
leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for some personal reason. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's going great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very nice. All right. So, Jaya, let us get started with our activities for today. We will try to cover at least two to three different activities, okay? And let's
Yes.
see how they go. Okay? All right. So the first one, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to give me an answer as descriptive as possible from your perspective. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So my question to you is talk about the three most valuable life lessons that you learned during the COVID-19 lockdown.
Okay. Mm. So, during COVID-19 lockdown, actually, the first lesson that I learned is to be positive no matter what. Um, See, anything can happen to you at any time, but like you feel scared because everyone is getting infected at that time, was getting infected, and because we had to, continue with our regular work in the branch. So there was a lot of fear, but still somehow we have managed to pass those days, and by God's grace I have not infected um, uh, by COVID-19. And to be positive and to think positive is the primary lesson that I learned. Um, and also, I want to add one thing, that don't listen to others, because there nowadays there are a lot of information, and people um, don't know which information to take in and which information to to not believe in. So, because during COVID-19, when every time we used to watch news, then so they were only showcasing the numbers of people got affected, and that news is depressing. Uh, the news was depressing for all of us, especially for senior citizen. And I think many people, get affected because of the news that they, kept getting to hear from the news, or from the neighbors, or maybe from the relatives. So don't think much, don't listen to others all the time. You have to decide whom you trust and only take the advice from them. So it will be number two. And number three will be, um, so number three will be, people say that you are what you eat. So you need to eat healthy so that you can keep yourself healthy also. And do not eat junk food because it's not good for your health. We know that, but we sometimes we can't resist ourselves, and we tend to eat a lot of food, junk food. So don't do that, and take care of your health. And your health is your wealth. So if you're taking care of it every day religiously, then I think nothing can affect you.
Okay.
That's it.
Where's the conclusion?
Okay, so to conclude, I would suggest everyone to think positive and to eat healthy and stay healthy.
Okay, perfect. So, even if you would not conclude it that way, that, to conclude, you can just say a simple line. So, that's what I learned from the COVID-19 lockdown period, right?
Okay.
Just a line to demarcate or let your audience know that you are done. Okay. Otherwise, people will keep anticipating for more.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Great. So good job, Jaya. I liked how you were able to think of three things right at the top of your head. I'm sure you haven't thought about it anytime during the day or maybe in the last few days also. But still, you were able to think about the points and you were able to give a very good and detailed explanation as to why you think that they are important lessons for you during the COVID period. But there were a couple of grammatical errors that happened, very tiny bits, but let us go through them and see what they are. Okay. Okay. So, number one, I have not infected by COVID. Okay.
Yes.
The entire narration was in the past tense, right? You were talking about the past. So, what do you think this sentence should have been? I have not infected by COVID.
I had.
I had not infected by COVID.
I was not infected by COVID.
I was not infected by COVID. What if you want to use had? How would you say it then?
Mm.
I had not been infected by COVID. Past
Yes.
perfect. Okay. Every time it is past perfect, we have a been added to it. Had been. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There are a lot of information available. What do you think is incorrect here?
There is a lot of information.
Why is and why not are?
Information is singular, so there is a information. There is a lot of
There is a lot of information available around us. Yeah. Information itself is not singular. Information is you can say it's a collective word, right? So, information in itself is plural. So, we don't say our information, we say is available, like information is available, because information in itself is plural. It's all the knowledge that's available. Okay.
yes.
Okay, perfect. Number of people got affected. Sorry, numbers of people got affected.
No, the number of people
Number of people got affected. Okay, next, many people get affected because of the news.
got affected.
Got affected, right? So a few tense errors. Most of the time it is a tense error that happened, so just be a little more careful about your tenses. Yeah, but overall very good activity. I really liked how you answered each question and how you approached each point over there. Yeah, good. Okay, so the next one, okay, I would do a would you rather activity with you, and let me see what you think about this one. Okay.
Yes.
So, um, so the drill is you choose one, you justify why that and why not the other one. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So, would you rather have the superpower to print money or to get anything at any point in front of you? Now that can be when I say get anything in front of you, like you just wish for something and you get it. So which one would you choose? Superpower to print money or superpower to get any materialistic thing that you want?
Mm, well, I think I would choose the second one.
Mm-hmm.
The superpower to get anything. any
Mm-hmm.
materialistic thing that I want, uh, because because that would be, actually, I'm a lazy person, so I would want, I would want something where I don't have to work much or don't have to think much. So whenever something comes in my mind that I want this thing right now, so I can wish for, and that thing will appear in front of me. So I would choose definitely this one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and why I would not choose the first one, because of that reason only. If I have the superpower to print money, then I have to go to market or maybe search online for the things that I want. It will take a lot of time for me to do that, and so that's why I would choose the second one.
Okay, great. That was such an honest answer. To be
Hmm.
honest, very, very, very candid, very well expressed. And I did not find any grammatical error in this answer. So good job on that. And again, you are very quick to come up with your reasoning, which is great because these are all very abstract questions, right? People, for the first time when they hear such questions, they're like, oh my god, what do I say? I don't know. And they will take a little time to think about these things. But you're very active when it comes to anything that's been thrown at you, right? So that's a very good quality. And I also like the fact that you are now incorporating a lot of expression, a lot of, smile in the way you are speaking. So good job with that as well. It's becoming more interesting to hear you. So good job.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, the next question that I have for you is a little more, maybe you'll have to think about your surroundings a little more or go back in time and think about it. But I want to understand from you, and you have to speak for at least 2 to 3 minutes on this answer. So be as descriptive as possible. Okay. I want to understand that, we all can feel the impact of global warming with the years passing, right? So, what do you think we as common people, we definitely don't know too many terminologies or what's the science behind it, but as common people, what do you think are the most common impacts of global warming that we are noticing or observing?
Yes, so the most common problem that we are facing right now is, the heat is increasing day by day. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so the summer is becoming hotter and hotter, and it becomes difficult for us to tolerate the heat. And last year, it was so the last year, so for the last 2 years, I think the number of air conditioners that the companies have um, sold is much higher than they have ever sold. So I think it's because of the fact that because of global warming, the heat is unbearable. And same is happening in winters also. We are not able to um, tolerate the cold.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this reason, now everyone, I think, has geysers and heaters in their houses.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of global warming, we are facing these challenges. For me, if I say, I can, because my hometown is near North Bengal. So we are used to have this kind of weather, cold weather, because the temperature can go as low as maybe 6, 7, or 8 degree Celsius. But here, now I'm in Kolkata, so here, if the weather is 18 degrees or 19 degrees, people feel like freezing. So it's not a problem for me, but I cannot bear the heat. And last year when I was in my I was at my workplace. Every day I used to feel irritated, especially after lunch, after the lunch time, because we had to take our lunch in that heat, because we don't have AC till now in the branch, because our branch is in rural area. It's a rural bank, uh,
Okay.
and it and the water, we don't have any freezer also. So the water gets really really hot, like boiling water, after 2:30 or 3 p.m. So it gets really difficult for us to stay inside the branch. And when the customers also, when they come after the lunch, they say that no, we can't stay here. Just they try and do their work as quickly as possible, and we also try to serve them as quickly as possible, because we have to do the job. We know that our infrastructure is not like other banks. So we can't take much time, and we can't make people to stay there for longer. And also, in okay, so I think, for me, summer is unbearable because of global warming.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, good points again. You could have also thought about things like how, like you said, that summers are becoming intolerable and unbearable, and every time the winter is also more cold and the summers are hotter. You could have also drawn a comparison. When we are talking about global warming, it means that we are talking about the gradual increase in temperature, right? So you could have drawn a comparison between what it used to be at the time when we were children, and how it has changed over the years, right? That
Mm.
could have been one approach that you could have taken. And the other thing that you could have spoken about was the change in seasons. Have we noticed how the seasons have changed now? Like earlier, there used to be something called spring. We hardly get to see any spring these days. Then we are
Yes.
having showers in January, right? Uh, in the rainy season, we hardly have any rain. And then before, in October, November, December also, it rained this time, right? So there is no specific, weather pattern that we can see nowadays. That is something also that you could have spoken about. But yes,
Yes.
the examples that you gave, the comparison between heat and cold waves, both that you spoke about, your hometown and the city, then things that you mentioned in the rural area, definitely that is also something which is very significant and good point. And the best part is I did not see any grammatical errors here as well. Okay, so probably what is happening is any topic that you are not very confident at that point, and you are still building your thoughts while you are speaking, there you are slipping up in grammar a couple of times, and especially if it is in the past tense. So that's what I could notice today. Somehow, Jaya, I lost your video. I think something is wrong.
Yes, actually, I lost your video before some
Okay,
time.
now it's
I
back.
managed. So
Now it's
yeah.
back. I think that that is some connectivity issue, probably. Okay, so good job. All right. Now, last activity. Should we do a little bit of storytelling?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, I'll give you a line today, and you can create a story based on that line. Just a complete story. And whichever genre you want to take it, you can do that. Okay. All right. Um, The little boy was playing on the beach, and suddenly he saw something interesting and he started walking towards it. While you
Beach.
think, Jaya, can I just go and get my water bottle? I'm really thirsty.
Yes, yes.
Thank
Yes, ma'am.
you. Thank you so much. Yes, if you're ready, you can get started.
Yes, but could you please repeat the sentence once more?
Yes, yes. The little boy was playing on the beach while he saw something interesting and started walking towards it.
When he reached the point, he saw that there was another boy um, of the same age was building a castle uh, of the sand, and it was really interesting to see that the boy the boy stood there for some time, and at first he did not have the courage to go and talk to the boy who was building the castle, but gradually he gained confidence and walked up to the boy, and he asked the boy what he was doing. And the boy replied that he was building a castle, and uh, they talked with each other for some time, um, and the boy got to know that the boy who was building the castle got to know that the other boy, the um, uh, boy was also interested in reading storybooks and castles and fairy tales, so which was not very boy friendly, because we tend to the girls tend to like those stories more than boys do. So they both got friendly, and the boy also helped. The first boy also helped the second boy to build the castle, and he also incorporated some of his imaginations to it, and both of them together built something which is new, uh, out of their imagination.
Okay, very nice. It was a very unique and a very quick and short story that you created. And it wasn't something that is very common, something that I have heard a lot of times. And this shows that you have a very good out of the box thinking. So good job on that, Jaya. I did not see any grammatical errors that happened. Say just one thing you said, castle of the sand. He was building a castle of the sand. So instead of that, you can just simply say he was building a sand castle.
Sandcastle.
Yes. Okay. But other than that, everything was great. I again enjoyed the session really well with you, and I liked your approach in every activity that we did. Before we end the session, do you have any questions or anything that you would want to clarify or ask?
Yes, I think I could perform well in that global warming part, because
Mm-hmm.
the changes in season. So it didn't come to my mind, and I was confused, and I uh, couldn't make the series
Mm-hmm.
properly. What should I say first, and then second and third? So how should I practice at home so that I can be able to answer the questions properly?
Okay, so one thing that you can definitely do is number one, whenever you get a topic, it can be any topic, right? Don't be in a rush to answer. First, take a few seconds. Even if, like with me, I always tell you that, okay, start whenever you're ready. But even if you are outside speaking to somebody else, it is okay to vocally tell them that, okay, give me a few seconds to think or gather my thoughts. Okay. When you buy that time, always try and think from as many perspectives as possible. Okay. And then get started with your answer. Okay. It's not that you have to think about language or you have to think about how to construct my sentence. Your whole lookout should be what are the points do I want to cover. So you know how people do mind mapping, right? You make a picture in your mind, Do you know how that is done?
No.
Okay, so there is something called mind mapping, which means before you speak, you create a checklist in your mind. So imagine a whiteboard. You write down my introduction. Then, point number one, I want to talk about seasons. Point number two, I want to talk about the rise in temperature. Point number three, I want to talk about, changes in weather, right? And then my conclusion. So you should be able to visualize a whiteboard in your mind, and there you quickly make your checklist. Now, this is a long process, it doesn't happen overnight. But if you train your brain that way, even for small tasks, probably you are going to office and you're thinking that I have these things to take care of today, start making or visualizing a whiteboard in your mind, that okay, first I have to get this job done, then I need to take care of this, then I need to meet my manager, or then I need to do this. So once you start building this mind mapping technique, you'll see that it becomes easier for you to practice this in these kind of scenarios as well, right? So that is one thing that you can definitely try and adapt.
Yes, ma'am. I will
Okay.
definitely try to do that. Yes.
All
Thank you.
right. No problem, Jaya. Thank you so much for joining. I will definitely see you again.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Bye. Good night.